guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be doing a review on this all-new 2022 Chevy Equinox RS.
Alright guys, before we start, I want to give a huge thank you to Regal Chevy here in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have a really kind staff, and I'll leave all their information in the description below. But if you're looking for a new car in the Florida area, I would definitely check these guys out.
So for those of you guys who don't know, the Chevy Equinox has been in Chevy's lineup since 2005. That's when the first generation was released, and that stayed until about 2010, and the second generation stayed until around 2018. So since then, we've had the third generation Chevy Equinox, but we are going to get a nice facelift for this updated 2022 model. So we're gonna have a new grille, different fog lights, different overall lighting design, as well as a slightly different lower fascia. But other than that, it's still gonna be basically the same. It's gonna be on the same platform. One unfortunate update that was made is they canceled the 2-liter turbocharged engine. That engine made over 250 horsepower, almost 300 pound-feet of torque. It was a very potent engine, but they decided to go away with it. So here, the only engine option we're gonna have is the 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And it's still gonna be plenty powerful. It's gonna have over 170 horsepower and 203 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this SUV to 60 between 7 and 8 seconds. So no, it's definitely not a slouch, but that 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder was definitely a much better performing engine. But as far as the exterior styling, let's jump right into it. So as we mentioned, we are going to have a little bit of an updated grille over here. I like how for the RS package, everything's going to be blacked out, and even this chrome area, it's definitely chrome. It's going to be reflective. You can see the reflection through the camera, but it's going to be a very well smoked chrome, so it looks really good, matched with this white paint and the overall black grille. But for this RS package, of course, you're going to get your red illuminated RS badge. As far as the headlights themselves, you can check out your LEDs. They look really nice. No actual daytime running strip. Well, right here we do get a daytime running strip, but you have to be in drive in order to see it. So when we took the picture of this car, once I parked it, we can't really tell if there's gonna be active daytime runners, but I promise you there are. They're right here, and next to daytime running lights, you are gonna get a nice Equinox nameplate. But other than that, you got your all new fog lights over here too with the turn signal. Look pretty cool. You can see your parking sensors over here as well. One complaint I have, no functional air curtain. It would be nice to have a functional air curtain on the RS trim, but as far as airflow itself, for the intercooler, you're gonna have plenty of airflow with this updated front lower fascia, and you can see the remainder of your parking sensors right here. But speaking of airflow, of course, this entire grille is gonna be airflow for your radiator, and you're gonna have a nice front-facing camera right here. But other than that, we'll take a step back. You guys can check out this overall front styling, and it looks really good in my opinion, guys. Definitely impressed. And as far as this wheel and tire setup, this is also a really nice part of the Equinox RS. So here we have our blacked out 19-inch rims. I definitely love the design. They're going to be wrapped in Hankook Kinergy GT tires. The dimensions are 235/50 R19s. Really impressive wheel and tire setup. I'm definitely a fan for this RS package. As far as the brake, you're just going to have your old school dual piston brake caliper, nothing too crazy, but still really impressive wheel and tire setup. But over here, you do get a blacked out Equinox nameplate for your RS trim. And check out that running board. That's also definitely really nice to have. It's not a very large SUV, but for smaller passengers, it's nice to have a set of running boards. But we are going to get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. That's also nice. No touch sensors. GM doesn't do the touch sensors. You got to press the button to both lock and unlock. Coming up here, we do not get any chrome trim. Definitely a fan of that for this RS package. You're just going to have this blacked out trim going all across this Equinox. Definitely a great match with this white paint. As far as the mirror itself, you are going to need a blind spot monitoring. It's going to be a pretty large mirror. It fits the frame very well, and I like this black and white contrast with your turn signal on the side. But this vehicle is also equipped with tints. That also adds to the overall contrast with this white paint. Really nice exterior. You got the black tow hooks up top, not tow hooks, roof rails up top, very stiff to the frame. Really impressive side profile. I'll take a step back and show you guys the profile. Really impressive, guys. I just hope I don't step on any snakes because I hear something around me and it gets me really paranoid. But you got the same wheel and tire setup for the rear, your 19-inch rims. Very clean, very nice overall design. As far as the gas tank, it is going to be a push to open. That is nice, and you do get easy fill. And this vehicle can accept 87 octane gas, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. I'd recommend putting premium fuel if it's available for this turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. So we also get a couple updates back here. It's going to be slightly different taillights and reverse lights, a little bit of a different lower fascia over here. You got your parking sensors, blacked out Equinox, and your RS badge right here. And if I didn't mention the taillights, of course, are LEDs. I like the blacked out Chevy badge right here as well. And if you guys can tell, we do get a little cover right here. So this vehicle does come equipped with a towing package. We'll read all that once we check out this vehicle's window sticker. But we'll take a step back. You guys can check out the rear styling one last time. And let's start this 2022 Equinox RS up and hear how this turbocharged 4-cylinder sounds. All right, guys, so that was, of course, the sound of the 1.5 liter turbo 4 sold by GM for the Chevy Equinox, and it actually had a pretty throaty induction noise. I guess we'll check out on video and see how the exhaust came out, but it does sound pretty good. Whenever we figure out where the latch is, we'll pop this hood, and not that easy to access with one hand, but we'll figure it out. And unfortunately, we do not get struts either. You're gonna have to deal with a prop rod, but not a big deal. It's actually not too hot underneath the hood, so at least they figured that part out with all this padding and materials that you can rest your arm on. But other than that, here you have it. Here's your 1.5 liter Ecotec 4-cylinder engine. Not the best spot for the battery, right on the driver's side, but also not a big deal because they did push this engine a little bit to the left. Decent spot for the intake. Not too much to talk about back here. This engine, of course, makes 170 horsepower, 203 pound-feet of torque. So solid numbers overall. Not the most power, but it is going to get the job done. But that's about it. We can shut this hood. I'll show you guys the process. Really surprising that it's not ridiculously hot like most cars that have prop rods, but we'll shut this thing up, take a step back. You guys can check out the styling one last time. And like I said, the daytime running lights don't light up unless you put the car into drive, so I won't be able to demonstrate it for you guys since I'm by myself. But that's about it for the exterior styling. Let's check out the interior on this 2022 Equinox RS. All right, guys, stepping inside the Equinox RS. So up top, you're gonna notice you do get some soft materials for your arm will often rest. Here, it's gonna be all hard plastic, containing for the rest of the door panel down here at least, it's gonna all be hard plastic. But the area that your arm is gonna be touching the most, all of this stuff is gonna be soft touch material. It's not gonna be leather, it's gonna be a durable, soft padded material with contrast stitching for this RS trim. Over here, you're gonna have a little bit of additional storage right here. Power one touch for the driver, no power one touch for the other windows, but they're all gonna be power, of course. The door handle aluminum is gonna have very good weight resistance too. Lock and unlock, you got your power mirrors right here. Down here, you can adjust how high the trunk lifts. So if you're a shorter person, you don't like reaching up really high to close your trunk back up with a button, you can just set it to 3/4 right here. As far as this area over here, not the most space, but you can probably fit a couple sandwiches, a couple bags of chips in there. Right here, you do get your optional 7-speaker Bose audio system, and it sounds really, really good, and you can tell that it's a Bose right here. But as we mentioned, you do get the running boards. That's nice for shorter passengers. Right here coming in, you do get an Equinox nameplate right here. But let's check out these seats. So they are going to be completely adjustable. You got the slide, you can lift them right here. You got the recline right over there, and you do get lumbar controls as well. And here are going to be your optional leather wrap seats. Extremely soft leather, really comfortable to sit in, surprisingly comfortable seats. Really impressive overall. But other than that, we'll take a step inside and really check it out. And we're gonna have to turn this air down because it's really booming in here, but hope you guys can hear a little bit better. Turn this volume down. We don't want to get hit with copyright too. But first thing you notice in this interior, it's gonna be the steering wheel. Chevy's been really killing it with their steering wheels lately. Very good 9-3 location. It wraps around very well for your fingers. So it's a great spot overall for your hands. As far as the 10-2, you do get a solid bolstering notch right here as well. So the 10-2 position feels really good to hold as well. No flat bottom. You wouldn't really be expecting it with this Equinox. But as far as the steering wheel itself, very thick, really impressive steering wheel overall. Definitely a nice steering wheel to hold in your hands. Over here, you're gonna have a nice textured material for the horn. As far as the horn, unbelievably aggressive. I was not expecting the horn to sound that aggressive, but they did offer a pretty aggressive sounding horn, so pretty impressed. As far as the steering wheel controls, you can check it out over here. You have your heated steering wheel on the steering wheel. Great spot for the heated steering wheels. I definitely give props to BMW because those are the first manufacturers that I've seen do that. But these guys do it as well, so definitely a thumbs up to GM and Chevy for having the heated steering wheel on the steering wheel. But over here, you also got your cruise control settings. You got your front forward collision alert, lane keep assist right here. So this vehicle is full of advanced safety features. On this side of the steering wheel, you're gonna have your voice commands, and you can adjust your infotainment display right here. And we'll check it out right here. So I'll hold the camera right here. So over here, you got your digital speedometer. Right here, we also get the distance and average speed, or average fuel economy. You get your fuel range, instant fuel range. You got your oil life, you got your tire pressure, air filter life. Nice, they offered you that, average speed, and a timer. But over here, you can see what music's playing. Over here, you got your navigation. So as you turn on the display over here, you can get like turn-by-turn information on your little heads-up display right here. It's not a true heads-up display, of course, but your nice infotainment display can show your navigations, which is definitely a thumbs up. But over here, you got your phone settings. Over here, you got your overall settings. You can turn your traction and stability control off through your infotainment screen, but we're not going to do any of that, of course. You can see your units, so if you want to switch to kph or mph, you can do that here, and your overall information over here. But let's get out of here. I personally prefer the digital speedometer, so I'm going to leave it right here for the drive. But Up top, you're gonna have all hard plastic for the dashboard. That's unfortunate, but the graining over here, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna feel a little bit more rubberized. But over here, you get a little bit of that stitch soft touch material. That is nice to kind of bring up the quality a little bit, and it continues over here as well. But as far as the infotainment display, typical GM infotainment, we get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Continuing over here, you got your camera, so you can see your front-facing camera. That is nice. You do get trajectory with guidance markers for your front-facing camera, so that's unbelievably impressive. You also have multiple views, so you can see your rear view camera right here. You can zoom if you want. This is your overhead camera. That's actually really impressive that they equipped this vehicle with the overhead camera, and it comes with multiple views, so you can see the overhead for the front too, and it shows you the grass. It's not going to be as high quality as the Mercedes GLE 300 that we just reviewed on this channel. That overhead camera is truly ridiculous, but this is right up there as well. Unbelievably clear and precise. You press this button over here, you got your blind spot camera, so if you want to see how close you are falling off a cliff, if you're having trouble parking your car in a tight parking spot, this is a good camera angle for you. Press that button one more time, check it out, you can see it from the other angle as well. So you got no excuse to keeping these rims scrape free, keeping this car scratch free. This car is very well protected when it comes to cameras. But over here you got your trailer hitch view too, so you can see if your trailer hitch is about to fall off and you're about to lose your trailer. So everything, this camera system has really thought everything through with this SUV. Over here, I don't think there's anything over here. No, there's not. Over here you press the button and okay, not much happens, but we'll turn it off. Other than that, hope you guys get the point. Unbelievably clear camera, really impressive. We're also gonna get Sirius and OnStar services, as well as a bunch of apps. We already mentioned Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So this infotainment system really does give you just about everything you would ever want or need. You got your settings right here. You press this and you're gonna go straight to home. You can skip right here, volume controls, very nice dial to turn too. And overall, really impressive. Your auto start stop right here. You can turn this off for the purpose of this review. You got your automatic climate control over here. Heated seats, no cooled seats, unfortunately, but not a very big deal for a vehicle that starts around 30,000 bucks. It's not really expected. But continuing down here, no wireless charger, unfortunately, but we are going to get an SD card, USB-C, USB, and an aux port. Over here, you got your 12-volt outlet for like a radar detector or anything like that. No wireless charger right here, unfortunately, but that is an option. Back here, you can turn off your parking sensors if you would like, and you got your overall gear selector right here. So if you throw it into reverse, you guys can check out the reverse camera. We already checked out all the cameras, but there you have it. Of course, you get guidance markers and trajectory as well. Throw it back into park. Back here, you are also going to have an electronic parking brake, and for the RS package, you are going to get an RS little etched piece right here with some contrast stitching. But other than that, your cup holders are going to be right here. They're not going to be rubberized, but they still feel pretty good. You got some brushed aluminum on the outside. No piano black interior. That's definitely nice. You just got this flat black. Definitely a fan of that compared to piano black. But over here, just some hard touch materials for your leg will often hit against. As far as the center console, you guys can check it out right here. Pretty soft leather. Not the most padding though. I do wish they offered more padding, but as far as the center console itself, you guys got to check it out. We'll move this little storage where you could probably fit a bunch of coins in. But as far as the center console, it is absolutely massive. You're easily fitting a 12-pack in here. You could probably fit like 2 or 3 water bottles on top of the 12-pack. So truly impressive size center console. You're probably fitting 3 2-liter bottles of soda with no issues whatsoever. And you do get an additional 2 USBs, and this center console has a nice light. So at night, you can see just about anything that's inside. But we'll put this little cubby back right here, shut this console up. We'll check out the glove box real quick, and it is going to be damped, not lined with felt. Wouldn't really expect it to be lined with felt, but it's huge. You're going to fit at least 15-20 license plates in here, more than enough storage space. But let's check out this window sticker and really see what this vehicle is all about. So of course, we got your 2022 Equinox RS. Front wheel drive is going to be summit white paint with a jet black interior. Turbo 4-cylinder 1.5 liter with a 6-speed auto transmission. The 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder was mated with a 9-speed automatic transmission on the previous Equinox, so it would be nice to see this turbocharged engine made with a 9-speed as well somewhere down the road. But I'm sure they're thinking about it. As far as the window sticker, you guys can pause, take a look at all the features. But as far as the standard equipment, you got just about anything you would ever need. You got your power seats, you got auto climate, dual zone automatic climate, you have a leather steering wheel, heated front seat, LED lights all around for the front and rear, power tailgate, all the advanced safety features you could ever want or need. You got teen driver mode, Chevy assist, auto emergency braking, forward collision alert, front pedestrian braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, and telebeam auto high beams, TPMS, of course, driver confidence 2 package, which is going to give you your front and rear park assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane change alert with side blind zone,
front and rear park assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane change alert with sign blind zone alert, and theft deterrent system. So these are all your standard features. That's going to be on your Chevy Equinox. It's going to cost $30,000. This vehicle is going to have a few options. We'll go over them right here, starting with your RS leather package, which I would recommend people get because you get your premium Bose sound system with 7 speakers, your RS leather appointed seats. As far as the infotainment package, also a great value for $900. It gives you your heated steering wheel. You got USB ports for the front and back with a console bin and a power outlet, 120 volt too. You're also getting your 8-inch color touchscreen with voice recognition, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto for $850. That's what's giving you your running boards too. That's a dealer installed option. You're also gonna get your advanced safety package, which is $650. That's gonna give you your HD surround camera, and as you guys saw, it's unbelievably impressive. You got an outside heated power adjustable manual folding mirrors with LED turn signals too, and you're also getting your adaptive cruise control with the advanced safety package. So after $4,000 in options, you're gonna also get hit with a $1,200 destination charge, totaling this vehicle out to about $35,270. Pretty good value overall still, considering all the features, all the standard equipment, and a pretty solid overall power plant with really good exterior styling, in my opinion at least. But we'll put this window sticker away. That's about it. Of course, you can check out, you do get a little sunglass holder right here and your lighting controls on the side. Yes, this vehicle, of course, does have auto headlights for these LEDs, but that's about it for the front seat, guys. Let's check out the back and see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat on the 2022 Equinox RS. So similar to the front, you're gonna get some soft touch materials up top for your armor loft and rest. It doesn't continue for the whole door panel. Not really expected for a bang for your buck compact SUV, but down here, really soft materials, guys. Very nice place to rest your arm. It's not leather, but it is gonna be like a leather-ish feeling material. It's kind of like a vinyl, and it's very well padded with nice contrast right here for your RS package. So you're not gonna have a Power One touch mirror for the back, but not a big deal. Of course, still gonna be a power window. You're gonna have a very nice weighted aluminum door handle as well. As far as storage down here, not that much. You could probably fit a couple cups in here, but because of this angle, anything that's not closed will probably spill. But anyway, stepping in here, you are gonna still have that running board, so smaller passengers will have easier access. No nameplate, but as far as the seats, check them out. So you are gonna have pretty well bolstered seats for the back seat. Pretty well bolstered compared to most vehicles, especially SUVs. As far as the inlets over here, very nicely perforated leather seats. Really impressive overall. I love the red accents too. Really nice seats. But let's step inside and see how much space we got back here. So remember, I'm 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I still got at least 2-3 inches of legroom, so definitely impressive. Definitely doable for anybody that's under 6'4" sitting behind themselves. But if you're taller than that, you can always sit behind the passenger, ask them to compromise an inch or two of legroom, and you should be perfectly fine back here. And you also get some vents. That's nice for a vehicle in the segment. Not everyone offers vents. No third zone climate control. That's not expected. Definitely though impressed that they gave you the vents. Down here, 2 USBs. That's a nice area to charge your stuff. And down here, this was part of the package. You're gonna get your 120 volt AC adapter down here. I'm not sure if you guys can pick it up, but I'll try to bring this down here. Not a lot of light, so pretty tough to see, but promise you it's there. You're also gonna have map pockets behind both the driver and your front passenger. Over here, you do get a nice little center console for the back passengers. It doesn't open up, but the armrest itself, very soft. You do get 2 cup holders. They are rubberized, so nothing's gonna be flying around. But we'll shut this up. That's about it for the back seat. Really impressive. I got at least like 4 or 5 inches of headroom, ton of legroom. Not a ton of legroom, but more than enough. Really impressive back seat. Let's check out the trunk real quick, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, so to open this trunk, you simply press the button because we do get the power tailgate on this Equinox RS. And as you see, you get an absolutely massive trunk opening. They used up the space really well. They could have probably cut out maybe another inch or so, but that would have affected the overall chassis stiffness, but still a great opening. You fold those seats down, which are 60/40 folding seats. You can easily fit 65, 70-inch TV back here with no issues whatsoever. As far as the step-in height, you guys can see I'm 6 feet tall, and my knee, it's just about the same level as the step-in for this SUV. So if you have older or smaller pets, they shouldn't have too much of a problem jumping back here. But as you see, ton of storage. You can lift this little cubby up right here. You get additional storage over here as well, where you can throw some secret stuff back here if you would like. So you shut this thing up. To close the trunk, you simply press this button right here, and it is a power folding trunk, so you can watch the process right here. But that's about it, guys. Let's take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Chevy Equinox RS. Let's take it out
for a drive. And the first thing that I notice about this SUV is the steering feels really nice, and I'm not exaggerating that. It feels very well on center. It's not numbly light. It's an electric steering rack, so definitely don't expect it to be like a old school BMW steering rack. But compared to the modern electric racks, this is a really well felt rack. It's really surprising for the segment that it's in. The GM does make some great steering racks for the Corvette and the Camaro, but I wouldn't expect it to feel this good for the Equinox. So definitely a thumbs up. But we're at this red light right now, pretty good timing. It'll give us a good opportunity to see how this SUV can accelerate off the line with this 1.5 liter turbo engine. So as soon as this light turns green, I'll catch back with you guys. All right, guys, on the gas, a little bit of lag, but as soon as that turbo kicks in, wow, really strong power. The red line's gonna be around 5,200 RPM, but it gets to 55 miles an hour pretty quickly. So no, it's not gonna blow you away in terms of acceleration, but the engine definitely makes very decent amount of power. You're gonna get to 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds. So definitely nothing to complain about for daily driving acceleration. And the isolation that you get from the road is also really impressive. You don't really hear much road noise at all. The road noise in this car is just about non-existent. You can hear a little bit of wind noise. These are pretty thick windows. They're not dual pane windows. I hope you don't expect a $30,000 starting car to have dual pane windows, but still very quiet in terms of wind noise. You are going to get a little bit of wind noise in the cabin, but you're going to get basically zero road noise in this cabin. But all right, guys, we're going to cross this road over here, over a couple train tracks in a second. So it'll definitely give us a good opportunity to see how this vehicle's real road isolation is over bumps, as well as the ride quality, because most vehicles that I take over these train tracks, it definitely upsets the chassis at least a little bit. But right here, you felt the bumps, but you didn't really hear anything. The road isolation with this car is really, really impressive. But we got a few cars in front of us. We'll give them a little bit of space, and then I'll catch back with you guys in a second. But all right, guys, stepping back out into this road, we'll lean into it about a third of the way right here. Wow, really strong torque, guys. This is a really torquey motor, and throwing it through the turns, the steering is unbelievably sharp and precise. The body roll is basically non-existent, and it's a pretty fun SUV, at least with this RS package. It'll be interesting to see how the non-RS Equinoxes drive, but throwing through these turns, it is really sharp. It's a very fun experience, and with the space that you get and the overall value, with the MSRP being around 30,000 bucks, if you can withhold most of these options, it's a great overall value. And as you see, we're just driving right now, cruising around 40 miles per hour. It's a very quiet cabin, tiny bit of wind noise, no road noise. So overall, definitely impressive. All right, so we do got a nice little set of twisties right here. We'll step on the brakes a little bit. We'll hit the turn a little bit hotter than we should. But the steering, it's so sharp, it's ridiculous. But coming out, okay, let's see what we got. Ooh, pretty good torque, and it pulls to about 5,500 RPM, and you get to pretty good speeds very quickly. On the brakes feel great too, but this steering rack feels absolutely unbelievable for the segment that this vehicle is in. I'm not sure if the 2021 Equinoxes felt anywhere near as sharp when it came to steering, but this car, it's definitely the most impressive thing to me, at least. The torque is really good. The 203 foot-pounds of torque definitely gets this vehicle out of its own way. That's about as far as I'm willing to go when it comes to acceleration in this car. I'm not going to say that it's an impressive accelerating vehicle. If we had the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that made over 250 horsepower, then this vehicle would become a true sport SUV. But with this 1.5-liter turbo engine, it's just not something that I can say. But it's still a more than sufficient engine. I'm not going to knock the engine. I will just knock the fact that there isn't an upgraded option to get a better engine for the people that don't feel like the 170 horsepower, 203 pound of torque is enough. But it is enough. It definitely gets out of its own way. It's not going to blow you away with acceleration. I hope nobody expects it to. But that's about all I can say about this power plant. It's definitely good enough. It's just not gonna blow anybody away in terms of power. But I'm gonna throw on the POV hat so you guys can get a nice first-hand look of driving this 2022 Equinox RS. Really see how responsive the steering is, because I'm telling you, it's really impressive, and I don't think that the camera is doing this car any justice. But I'll catch back with you guys in 1 second, and you guys can get a first-hand view of driving this car. But all right, guys, stepping out here in the 2022 Equinox RS. Watch this. So as soon as you even think about turning the steering wheel, this thing is changing directions. I don't think that turn gave this car much justice, but trust me, it's a really impressive turning SUV. But stepping out here, we'll lean into it about a third of the way. Not here. Once we're situated, we'll dip into it right here, and you see the torque is pretty solid. The turbo spools up, and you're definitely getting out of this vehicle's way. And check out this sharp turn right here. On the brakes, great brakes by the way, but throwing it in, this car feels unbelievably sharp. And coming out, whoo, good torque with this Turbo 4. But again, it's not going to be blowing you away in terms of speed, but just light throttle acceleration once that turbo spools up, it is impressive. But this turning is the most impressive about this SUV and coming out. But school zone, we can calm down over here, especially with the lights flashing. We definitely don't want to get in any trouble over here, but I hope you guys get the point. Unbelievably impressive SUV for around 30,000 bucks. Great space, great ride. It's very well insulated from the road. It's really great overall. Obviously, if this vehicle came with a 2-liter Turbo 4, I'll be 10 times more impressed, but for what it is, I can't say that this vehicle doesn't impress me quite a bit. But we got another little set of twisties right here. I'll show you guys how this vehicle can really handle one more time. Do this little corkscrew. Ooh, it is sharp. Coming right here, it is sharp. Everything about this car is just sharp, sharp, sharp. No, it's not going to blow you away in terms of speed, in terms of power, but the overall fit and finish of this car, the way that it drives, the way that it handles, it's really, really impressive. But all in all, guys, huge thanks to Regal Chevy for making this review possible. Super impressive SUV. I love the way that this car handles. I love the way that it looks too. Definitely a great style. Huge thanks to Regal Chevy for making this review possible. I definitely suggest anybody looking for a new car in the Florida area to check these guys out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I really had a great time making this video. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know how grateful I am for all of you guys. You know the channel's just not possible without the subscribers, so I really do have a huge appreciation for each and every one of you. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Join the W.T.F family. Leave a like too. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people now. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment letting me know what kind of cars you'd like to see reviewed in this channel too. I love reading comments like that. It gives me some great ideas for new upcoming videos, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you guys as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.